Hello everyone, just wanted to give you a June 2021 updated garden tour and show you what we've been working on in our garden. First up is our chard. So we're growing this red chard and it's been really prolific. It has really beautiful leaves, as you can see, with these deep magenta center lines. We also have Swiss chard that we've been growing. It's very similar to the red chard in taste with just a white center line. And we have these baby spinach that we've been growing as well. It's the last of our spinach. The bugs have been getting to it, as you can see from this leaf. We also have some onions that we're growing on either side of the chard. We've been harvesting these spring onions pretty intermittently, just enjoying them with our meals every now and then. And we have some beautiful marigolds as well. Next up, we have our squash plant. So this is a spaghetti squash plant that we've been growing amongst our zucchini plants in our garden. We have about 5 spaghetti squashes that are growing. This one here is the largest and the very first one. It's growing pretty large. It's about 1 foot in length, but we haven't been able to harvest it just yet. The skin's not quite ripe at the moment. You can see this plant is so prolific. It's just taken off. And there's this white stuff on the leaves. It's not mold, it's actually just a product my husband applied to the plant. And you can see there's a few other smaller ones growing. And they've just taken off and hanging off the trellis. There's a few smaller buds that are now popping up here and there on the ground. And it's just been a really great plant to grow here in Zone 10A. Next up is our tomato plant. So this is a cherry tomato variety. You can see these beautiful little cherry tomatoes popping up and growing all over the plant. We've been having them in our salads, in our stews, in our pasta dishes. There's tons that have been growing throughout both the winter and spring season. We overwintered this plant and it's just a great plant to grow. We also have this heirloom tomato plant. So we have these very juicy looking tomatoes. They almost look like beefsteak tomatoes, but they're not quite the same variety. And they have a deep color to them that's developing. We haven't been able to harvest any of these yet. You can see some younger ones that are forming here that are still green, but we can't wait to try these out in our salads. It'll be a joy to try these. Next up is our grapevine. So we have 2 different grapevines growing in our garden. The one you're looking at here is our red grapevine. The grapes are just starting to flower and form, and you can see it's really taken off, especially on this trellis that my husband built. And over here on the other side of the yard is our green grapes. These have taken off even more, and they're even starting to attach to our bougainvillea plant as well as the fence behind it. And we really need another trellis here, but for the time being we're making do. You can see all of the little grapes that are just beginning to form and flower on this plant.